Tariffing cars.
Tariffing Canada. Is there anything he can say to you in the course of your meetings with him today that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No.
Why not?
Just the way it is.
Look at you, see that?
Yeah.
Totally ignores him. Like, Trump knows he wants to speak. Clinton Jaws, please like this video. It's the only thing I care about. It does something strange to the video when you do that. The worst thing that could happen to Canada was they vote in another Liberal, and they did that. Mark Carney is his name. The worst thing for Canada. He's all about going green, zero emissions. Canada is in trouble. And what I saw today was priceless. They finally meet today. And Trump doesn't let him speak. Want to see what the definition of smug is? Watch Mark Carney. Watch what he does right off the bat. Guys, to all men, do not do that move. It's gross, it's nasty, and honestly, it doesn't even make any sense. That's smugness right there.
I congratulate you, and ran a really great race. I watched the debate. I thought you were excellent, and I think we have a lot of things in common. We have some tough points to go over, and that'll be fine.
Mr. President, you have said that Canada should become the 51st state.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No. Well, I still believe that, but you know, it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, you know, as a real estate developer, you know, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said, that's the way it was meant to be. But, you know, it's, I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it.
Can I get in there?
I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may,
a couple of things here.
As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, you know, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
Trump.
But the opportunity
You don't
is
like
in
that.
the partnership and what we can build.
You don't like that. Trump right there, that's a face of, we'll see about that, bitch.
Together. We have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our...
Such a crock. Canada refuses to pay their 2% NATO bill. And Trump doesn't like that. Trump disrespects that. They can afford to pay it, but they won't.
Partnership, and I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have, I must say, Canada is stepping up the military participation because Mark knew, you know, they were low, and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
When you consider what Mr. Carney just said, that Canada is not for sale, does this make the discussion a little more difficult to start on?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, time.
No.
Time will tell. It's only time. But I say never. I've had many things that were not doable, and they ended up being doable. And only doable in a very friendly way. But if it's to everybody's benefit, you know, Canada loves us and we love Canada. But we'll see. I mean, over time, we'll see what happens.
Is the U.S. prepared to walk away from that pact?
From what pact?
USMCA.
No, it's fine. It's there. It's good. We use it for certain things. It's there. We have the USMCA is a good deal for everybody.
This is so good.
I won't say this about Mark, but I didn't
Marky.
like his predecessor. I didn't like a person that worked for. She was terrible, actually. She was a terrible person.
He's talking about Christy Freeland, Trudeau's finance minister. She once stood up to Trump.
No wonder they're putting the training wheels back on for her. She can tell that to the Prime Minister.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I've stood up to Trump, and I have stood up to Putin. Juvenile, playground insults from the wannabe MAGA maple syrup conservatives do not frighten me at all.
Complete lunatic.
And she really hurt that deal very badly because she tried to take advantage of the deal and she didn't get away with it.
You know who I'm
You know
talking
what
about.
I'm talking about. But so we had a bad relationship having to do with the fact that we disagreed with the way they viewed the deal, and we ended it. We ended that relationship pretty much.
Mr. President.
I'll just say,
Can I get
a
in?
word on USMCA, if I may, Mr. President.
If I may.
It is a basis for a broader negotiation.
my
Some
pen?
things about it are going to have to change. And part of the way you've conducted these tariffs has taken advantage of existing aspects of USMCA. So it's going to have to change. There's other elements that are come, and that's part of what we're going to discuss.
Right.
Mr. President, is there anything the Prime Minister can say to you today to change your mind on tariffing Canada?
Tariffing cars.
Tariffing Canada. Is there anything he can say
Watch
to
this.
you in the course of your meetings with him today that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No,
Why not?
just the way it is.
Look at you see that?
Yeah.
Totally ignores him. Like, Trump knows he wants to speak. I'm speaking, not you.
Yeah.
If Canadians don't want it, would you respect that?
Sure, I would. But this is not necessarily a one-day deal. This is over a period of time they have to make that decision. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, fine, go.
Well, if respectfully, Canadians' view on this is not going to change
He
on
not
the
gonna-
51st state. Secondly,
Trump
we
don't
are
like
the
this.
largest client of the United States in the totality of all the goods. So we are the largest client. of the
That
United
pisses
States.
Trump off.
We want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada. And we put tariffs on cars from Canada.
I don't
and
blame
at a
them.
certain point, it won't make economic sense for Canada to build those cars. And we don't want steel from Canada because we're making our own steel and we're having massive steel plants being built right now as we speak.
And Canada's upset that America doesn't want this stuff anymore. They won't even take Canada's cookies. Canada's Girl Guide cookies. Don't want them.
We really don't want Canadian steel and we don't want Canadian aluminum and various other things because we want to be able to do it ourselves. And we, because of,
wrong with
past
that?
thinking of people, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. In other words, they have a surplus with us.
Watch Mark.
And there's no reason for us to be subsidizing Canada. Canada's a place that will have to be able to take care of itself economically. I assume they can. I will tell you that Trudeau, when I spoke to him, I used to call him Governor Trudeau. I think that probably didn't help his election. But when I spoke to him, I said, so why are we taking your cars? Why are we taking we want to make them ourselves. I mean, I said, and if the price of your cars went up, or if we put a tariff on your cars of 25%, what would that mean to you?
Bye-bye, Canada.
He said that would mean the end of Canada. He actually said that to me. And I said, that's a strange answer, but I understand his answer. But no, I mean, it's hard to justify subsidizing Canada to the tune of maybe $200 billion a year. We protect Canada militarily, and we always will. We're going to, that's not a money thing. But we always will. But,
Can I say something?
it's not fair. But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be? It's a very substantial number. And it's hard for the American taxpayer to say, gee whiz, we love doing that. Thank you very much. We're going to have a very substantial. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Shuts it down. He knew better. He knew better to keep it going.
All right. Could you tell there at the end it was getting very heated inside of the Oval Office?
So I've been focusing on my health lately, and I found something pretty amazing. Cocoa. Did you know cocoa can help with heart conditions, restore brain cells? I didn't know this. And I found this doctor on TikTok. He's a Harvard scientist. His name is William Lee.
Well, clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month. Yeah. And they doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream, and their circulation improved measurably. And then what's even more important and impressive is that there was a study called the Cosmos study that was completed recently that showed that eating high flavanol cocoa decreases the risk of cardiovascular death. Yeah. Right, over a period
like a statin.
Like a statin. Exactly. Except maybe by eating the same thing that you use to make chocolate. So we're not telling people to go out to have chocolate, which is a confection. There's got a lot of sugar and all kinds of other stuff in it. But it's the stuff underlying it, the core of it.
That's right. Flavanols. That's the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but it's usually destroyed during the chocolate making process. And that's where Black Forest Supplements comes in. They created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder. I put it in my coffee. I put it in my protein shake. It tastes amazing. This stuff can boost your body's natural stem cell production. Hollywood elites are dropping insane amounts of stem cell injections. Just look at the Golden Globes, where A-listers got $40,000 worth of stem cell facelifts in their gift bags. My energy is up. The brain fog, massive difference. I just worked out a great deal with my guy at Black Forest Supplements. For the next 48 hours, get 40% off. Guys, this stuff always sells out fast. Do it now. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code that you see on the screen.